right. 60 minutes, motivation, meditation, inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get down to the ability to grind. And today's story is going to be about opportunity. So, opportunity cost, the ability to focus to the point where you choose tasks, recognizing that those tasks are going to come at a cost. So when we recognize that those challenges that we face off against on a daily basis help us to have growth, when we get to that place where we start to recognize that focusing is very important and that it is going to cost. So when we get to that place where we focus to the point where we understand that the challenges that we face off against on a daily basis are very important. Focus, focus, focus. Always going to say this, always going to, and always will. The reflection that people see from you, from your level of strength, comes from your level of focus. So when you identify with that inside of yourself, when you put yourself in such a way that that reflection shines outwards from your level of focus, then what shows is called motivation. So motivation is that reflection. We must continue to focus. We must continue to get to that place we get inside of ourselves where we start to become that reflection on the outside. When you start to utilize this universe in such a way, this universe utilizes you. So recognize that you can become focused. You can have that ability inside of yourself to get that level of growth to where the reflection shines outwards from within who you are. So recognize that the challenges that you face off against you can overcome. How are some of the ways that we can overcome these challenges? By giving ourselves the ability to put ourselves in a place that's positive. We give ourselves that ability to utilize those kinds of tools to put ourselves in that type of place, to continue to put ourselves in the place where we put things in to a way where we continue to focus. When we get to that place inside of ourselves where we become that kind of strength, that reflection shines from your level of focus, which was your inwards absorption, the ability to absorb these things that you're going through on a daily basis and to utilize the challenges that you face off against. So when you see that, when you recognize that, when you get to that place inside of yourself where you are willing to focus, that place to give yourself, that place inside of you to become that type of strength, that is the reflection from your level of focus. Understanding that when you give yourself that place to gain that kind of thing, you have the ability to overcome challenges that you will face off against, which means you can achieve your goals. That means your goals can be a reflection of your level of focus. When you recognize that when you go within yourself and you find that type of strength, when you absorb that type of focus, that the reflection shines outwards from within who you are. So ask yourself that type of question. Do I write stuff down? Do I put myself in a way that I can start to create and form good habits? Do I put myself in a place where I can study others that have hit that place of motivation as that reflection? Is my level of focus at a point where I utilize tools and all the tools that I have available to me? Can I put myself in that place where those tools can be utilized, and can I be a reflection of strength and focus? Can that focus inside of myself reflect outwards from my inwards focus to become the reflection of meditation? In other words, your level of motivation. So when you see this within yourself, when you recognize those challenges that you face off against, they come from how strong you actually radiate outwards from your level of focus. Can you put yourself in that place? Can you ask yourself those types of questions? What are some of the tools that you can utilize to make these possible? When you put yourself in a place where you go through a journey and you recognize that this journey is you versus you, when you focus to that place, when you get into that level of growth, when that reflection shines outwards from within yourself, when you get into that place where you utilize the tools that you do have and you utilize those tools to the best of your ability to focus, when you put yourself in that place of focus to utilize the tools that you have, this universe has the ability to utilize you as a tool. When you utilize that level of focus inside of yourself, that is when you can achieve things. That is when you start to see what we call a motivation. All of you have that within yourself. All of you have that inside of yourself to get to that place. To get to that place inside of yourself where it reflects outwards from your level of focus. Can you grind? Can you get to the point where you start to allow yourself to only have no excuses, but focus. When you set a goal in front of yourself, can you achieve that goal? Can you put that in such a way that that reflection shines outwards from within who you are? Now, focus, focus, focus. Getting to that place of focus where that reflection shines outwards. If you're going to say to yourself that you're going to wear makeup every single day, you better freaking wear makeup every single day. It means that if you get to that level of grind inside of yourself where it reflects outwards from within you, that you give yourself that place to be. When you reflect outwards from within who you are, the reflection shows a strength. The reflection shows as the ability. If you say that you're going to meditate every single day, that means that you meditate every single day. If you say that you're going to give yourself that place to have that type of reflection, you give yourself that place to have that type of reflection. That is where the strength, that is where people start to identify with you as a motivation. That is where it reflects outwards as a motivation. When we recognize that those type of challenges that we face off against come down to your level of focus, your ability to get to that place, to get to that level inside of yourself, that is where the grind is. That is where the grind inside of ourselves is a place of reflection. So when we understand that we have the ability to absorb, we have the ability to utilize that stuff inside of ourselves, that level of focus is within you, that you can connect with your level of focus, that this universe can utilize you as a tool, and that you are hot. You are a hot tool to this universe. This universe can utilize you in such a way that it utilizes you as a reflection. When you understand that this internal absorption and this external reflection is you, that you can get to that place of focus inside of yourself, that you can have that type of place that other people would call you strong. Where the challenges that you face off against, you can overcome. Recognize that those places inside of yourself exist, that you can utilize those challenges. Those challenges can become a tool. Those tools that you utilize on a daily basis give you the ability to gain that level of strength or that level of focus, which is the reflection of motivation. So ultimately, when I'm looking for a motivational speaker, I'm looking to see if they have that inside of themselves. Can they set a task? Can they get to the point where they get to that level of grind where you can identify them as a motivation? Getting out there and starting to focus and to study that level of focus to get to that place where you understand the reason why that person is that way is because they have that level of grind. Get down with yourself and grind. Get to that place where you're so focused that the challenges that you have within yourself give you the ability to overcome all things. That there's no such thing as a challenge. With you focused to that level where these things come down to your level of strength inside of yourself, which gives you that ability to grind. Get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outward from within who you are. This world will understand you as a hunter. This world will understand you as a reflection of the strength inside of yourself. Let them identify you as that. Let them see that kind of reflection. Let them see that you are a reflection of strength. You are that type of reflection within who you are. When you get down to that level of grind, when you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shows from your level of focus, when that level of focus shows outwards as your grind, when other people see that grind within you because your level of focus hits that place, that is when they talk about you as a grinder. That's when they tell you that you have no excuse to be able to be yourself, but the reflection to shine outwards from your level of absorption. When you get to that level of grind, that's when this world utilizes you. Recognize that you can put yourself in a place and you can utilize these tools to get to that level of grind. These type of tools that you can utilize in that way are the ability to put yourself in a way that you utilize the tools such as writing stuff down, such as reading stuff, which is getting yourself to the level of focus where you utilize this universe that it can utilize you to grind. When you utilize the ability to get inside of yourself to that level where the reflection shines outward from within who you are, when you get to that place where other people start to call you strong, when you get to that place where that reflection shines from within who you are, that is when you know you are on the grind. That is when you get to that place inside of yourself where the reflection shines outwards, when your things that you want to do become done. That is how you grind. That is the place inside of ourselves that's not a place of poor me or poor this. That is a place of grind. That is a place of giving yourself that ability to get to that grind. And what will other people call you when you get to that place where you are on your grind? They're going to call you motivation. They're going to call you some things that you may like or not like. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's moving out of your way. It's giving you the ability to continue to grind. When you get to that place inside of yourself where the reflection shines outward from within who you are, and you have the ability to grind, that is when this universe will utilize you as a tool. It will utilize what you got inside of yourself in such a way that the reflection shines outward from within who you are. Can you ask yourself those types of questions? Can you get to that place inside of you where the reflection shines outward from within who you are, where the reflection shines outwards and where it creates that level of grind? When you get to that place where those tasks that you have and you achieve those tasks and you know that you are on that grind, that is what it's about. Get down to that grind. Get to that place inside of yourself where it's you versus you, and you have the ability to overcome that because your level of focus is so strong the reflection shines outwards as your level of grind. Recognize that those challenges that you face off against, you can overcome. If you can get down to that place inside of yourself where you grind. Hear that what I'm saying? Give yourself that place to gain that level of reflection that others identify you as strong. Let them call you strong. Let you call yourself focus. Let you call yourself reflection. Let that level of absorption go from that place to where you are utilized as a tool in this universe. And this tool and this universe is that place that you can utilize your wrench to turn, and then, in other words, creating that kind of grind. Recognize that what's inside of you is something great. And what reflects outwards is your level of grind, my friends. Recognize that motivation is a reflection of focus. Motivation is a reflection of focus. Once again, I'll say that motivation is a reflection of focus. So if you get to the place where you start to get to that level of focus, then other people will start to call you a motivation. And that's where we can look from. We can see others that have hit that level of motivation. That place where that reflection shines outwards, and we can definitely see their level of grind. That's when this universe utilizes tools, and all kinds of tools. The financial tools, universal tools, any kind of tool is utilizable to that person who's willing to grind. If you're willing to get to that place inside of yourself, if you're willing to get to that level of focus to reflect outwards from your internal focus, when you get to that place, when you get to that place where no poor me, this, that, or mentality of unable to focus, when you get to the place of focus where you take that type of place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards, where other people see your level of grind, understand that your grind is with you versus you. You versus you, and this universe utilizes that tool in such a way that the reflection shines outwards from yourself. Recognize that your grind is your grind and you have the ability to be on it. And if you have that chance in your day, your week, your month, your year to overcome all challenges that you face off against, then you know, my friends, you will be on your grind. When you see this inside of yourself, when you see this place inside of who you are, when you see this place within what challenges you face off against, then you know that you are on your grind. That is what it's about. That's the purpose. Putting ourselves in such a way that we give ourselves that ability to have that type of challenge to reflect outwards from ourselves, the strength of our level of focus. See, you can get into it. You have the ability to hit that level of focus where it becomes a grind. You have that level of focus within yourself where others can identify you as motivation. Let them call you motivation. You call yourself focused. You call yourself dedicated. You call yourself things that reflect from your internal absorption. Your ability to focus to that point, to connect yourself with you to the point where you focus, where you put yourself, and you say that I'm going to achieve this task, and you achieve that task. When you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outward from within who you are, that's when the reflection shines. And that shine from that level of focus is known as strength and motivation. And when you're looking for somebody to be a motivation for you, look at their level of focus. Look at their level of focus to the point where they utilize this universe as a tool, and look at the tools that they utilize from their level of focus, and that is where you will be able to tell their grind. When you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are, when you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are, from your focus, when you take that responsibility to get to that place, to have that level of focus, where that focus inside of yourself turns into reflections, where other people start to call you strong from your level of focus. Don't get it twisted. Focus, recognize that the focus is the inwards absorption. The reflection is the external absorption. So when that reflection comes to those people and they start to utilize that as an absorption, what they're doing is focus. When they focus on you and they see this and this universe utilizes you as that form of tool, then this is when they call you a motivation. Recognize that's within you all. If you can get to the place where you can grind, where you can get to the place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outward from within who you are, to the place where you can actually get down to that level of grind with you versus you, where that focus hits that place where the reflection shines outwards and other people call you strong. Other people will start to call you a victor in life. They will give you the ability to see that within yourself, that you can have that level of grind where this universe and this universe most high can give you the ability to utilize this universe in such a way that the reflection shines outward from within yourself. Recognize that you can speak into existence the ability to get to that level of focus. You can utilize the tools in this universe, like writing stuff down, like reading stuff, like hearing, like putting yourself in positive places, by putting yourself in a way that the reflection comes from within you, and that shine from that focus reflects outwards as strength, reflects outwards as victory, reflects outwards as motivation. Motivation is a reflection of focus. Motivation is a reflection of your level of focus. So ask yourself, how strong are you? How actually focused are you? Can you reflect outwards with that level of focus? Can you get to that place? Can you get to that level of grind? Can you get to that place inside of yourself where the reflection shines outwards from within who you are, to the place where you are at a place of grind? Can you get to that place of focus where that grind gives you the ability to have that reflection outwards? Ask yourself these types of questions. Ask yourself, what are you studying? What type of place do you put yourself? What challenges are you facing off against? Are you overcoming your challenges? And that will tell yourself just how focused you are. And that focus will show through as that reflection. That reflection will identify with where you actually are. Are you actually focused? Are you actually on your grind? Are you actually in that place where that grind is within you? Where you start to achieve goals, where you start to become a reflection, where this universe utilizes you as a reflection of strength, where that reflection shines from within you, from your level of focus. Can you get to that place within yourself to become that level of reflection? Can you get to that grind inside of you? Can you get to that place inside of yourself where it reflects outwards from within who you are? Can you get that focused? Can you get to that place of focus where the reflection shines from within yourself? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying, that you have that within yourselves? You have that place where others will be able to identify that with you. When they absorb that from their level of focus and they start to see that you are a motivation, when they start to see that that challenge that you face off against on it every day you will overcome, when they give that ability to you to understand that you are that strong, that things that you face off against you can overcome, when you get to that place of focus, the external becomes a reflection, where your internal focus gives you the ability to create that kind of focus from that level of absorption, to create that level of reflection. That is what we call a motivation. Motivation is not to just mean motivation or to study motivation. It's become part of the whole entire package. The package of focus, the place inside of yourself where you create that level of focus, where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are, and this universe utilizes you as a tool of focus. When this universe utilizes you as a tool of focus, they can find that you are the best tool of focus within this universe. And recognizing that is the ability to get to that level of grind, to get to that place inside of yourself where you get to where it's you versus you, and the reflection shines from within yourself, and the reflection outwards is a level of grind, where this universe is created in such a way that you utilize this universe on a daily basis. You have that ability within yourself. You have that place inside of who you are to get to that place, to get to that point where you are so precise that you heat up this universe just with you being in it. With your level of focus and the things that you choose to take on your daily, get you that place where you're able to grind to that level, to get to that place inside of yourself where others would just give up. When you utilize that tool, when you are known as the best tool, in other words, the best focuser in this universe, when you get to that place where that reflection shines outward from within yourself, that you literally create art from your level of focus. When this universe utilizes that level of absorption from your focus, your inwards journey on your reflection outwards, get it? Get into that place inside of yourself where you gain that kind of strength, where this universe calls you strong, where this universe calls you a victor, where it calls you a reflection from your level of focus. It's all you versus you. You versus you. getting to that place of focus where it's you versus you, getting to that level inside of yourself where you get down to that level of grind, where that place inside of yourself shows through as a reflection. When you identify with this within yourself, when you get to this place, when you get to that level of reflection, when you identify with those type of challenges that you face off against as a reflection outwards, when you get into this place inside of yourself where you become focused, put yourself in that focus, put yourself in that place where you recognize that those people that have hit the top because they have chosen to focus. They have given themselves the ability to put themselves in positive places, to put those challenges in front of themselves and say, they will move out of my way. Hear what I'm saying? This universe will move out of the way of the one who's willing to focus to the point where the reflection shines outwards from their internal absorption, from their level of focus. So give yourself the ability to utilize those tools. Give yourself the ability to write stuff down. Give yourself the ability to read stuff. Give yourself the ability to put yourself in a way that you pay yourself first. Make sure that you always put yourself in a way that you can get to that level of focus. Make sure that you always put yourself in a way that you can create that level of reflection. Make sure that you get to that level of place inside of yourself where you reflect outwards as strength, where you reflect outwards as motivation. Are you hearing about that grind? That place inside of yourself that is a place of focus, that place of focus within yourself that reflects from within you, that you have that ability to take those responsibilities inside of yourself to get to that place where you can focus, where you can bypass every challenge, that they will move out of your way. If they don't move out of your way, then you're going to go straight through them because your level of focus is in such a way. This universe will utilize you as a tool. It will utilize you as a tool, and that tool will create that torque, and that torque is known as motivation. That torque is known as strength from your level of focus, your ability to get to that place within yourself where it creates that level of torque, which creates that level of grind. When you're able to get to that place inside of yourself, when you reflect outwards from this, that's when they start to call you, my friend, a motivation. Look inside of yourself, see if you have that ability to grind. See if you put yourself in that place and you take on less tasks. You put yourself in that place where you overcome the challenges that you face off against on a daily basis. This universe becomes a place where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are. And this reflection that shines outwards will utilize this universe in such a way that it will utilize it as a tool for you to be able to utilize this universe. And that universe will start to utilize the tools to reflect outwards from within you. When you get to that place, when you get to that level of reflection, when you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines out from within who you are, then it utilizes you as a tool. That tool will create strength, that torque within this universe from your level of focus. That torque will be able to be utilized as a tool, and those tools will come to you in such a way that all the tools that are needed for this creation, in such a way that this universe will utilize you in such a way that you will create a torque within this universe. And that is called motivation. Motivation is that torque. Motivation is that ability to get to that level of focus, to get to that place, to get to that level of focus to where your internal absorption has a reflection of motivation, has a reflection of strength. When you get to that level inside of yourself, when you are grinding with you, when you get to that place where that reflection shines outwards from within yourself, when you get to that place where your tool, which is you, has the ability to utilize the tools of this universe, where this universe utilizes you to that level of reflection. When you get it untwisted and you actually get to that place of focus inside of yourself where you reflect outwards, where that reflection comes from your level of grind, when you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards from your level of grind, are you hearing what I'm saying? Focus to that place. Get to that place of focus. Get to that place where that becomes you, where you get it, where you focus to that point where you're going to get it done, where those challenges that you face off against, you can overcome them, where you can get to that level of focus where those challenges that you face off against, you will overcome. When you see that within yourself, when things that are not going to allow you to focus move out of your way, this universe will utilize you as a tool. It will create such a fork that the reflection will show through as motivation. Motivation is not just the person who's motivation. It is also the people studying the motivation. They're recognizing your level of torque, that reflection that's coming from you, from your level of focus, the ability to study that at that point, you become a focus. where you get to that level of focus where it reflects outwards. And then they start to call you a motivation. They start to call you these things because they see that reflection from your ability to be you, to get to that level of focus within yourself, to get to that place where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are. When we get to that level of reflection, when we get to that place where we utilize this grind, we get to that place where we utilize this focus, that internal absorption, to that place of reflection, of motivation, when we get to that place of strength where that's reflecting outwards from our focus, when we get to that place where other people call you strong, where other people call you a reflection from within who you are, recognize this universe can utilize you as a tool. This universe can utilize the tools of this universe through you. This universe can utilize those tools within this universe through you from your level of focus. So that is a reflection. Those are the reflections. The real thing is that level of grind, that place inside of yourself where you're willing to get down with you. Can you get down with yourself? Can you get to that place inside of yourself where it reflects outwards from within who you are? Do you have the ability to set a task and put yourself in such a way that you can overcome that task every single day like it's a life or death? Can you get to the level where you take on less tasks and you do them better? Can you get to that level of grind where the focus comes from within you and that reflection outwards is what other people identify with? Can you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards from within yourself? Are you hearing what I'm saying? That is a focus. That is getting down to that place inside of yourself where you grind, where you get that grind coming from within yourself, that others understand that this is you and this is your journey and this is your path and this is the way that you're going to take it, and that's it. If they move out of my way, because I'm coming through. I'm coming through in such a way that I'm going to bring you with me. Okay, I'm going to get you to the level of focus, the place inside of yourself where you're going to be able to kind of create that kind of tool. You're going to heat up this universe in such a way that the reflection comes. And I'm going to take that train straight with me, and I'm going to bring that force into this universe in such a way that that level of focus comes from within, and the reflection outwards is identified as a reflection. And you can call me whatever you want to call me, but as long as that becomes a reflection of my level of focus, then it doesn't matter what you call me, because those types of words, those types of things that you will say come from my level of focus. And if it isn't positive, it's moving out of the way. Recognize that when you get to that place of grind, that's within yourself, to get to that place where you have that place inside of you as a reflection outwards. Ask yourself if you can get to that level of grind. Can you study motivational speakers and actually see their focus? Can you see that they're bringing you with them like a train coming through, and that train's going straight through, and whatever's in its way is going to be destroyed? Can you get to that place inside of yourself where you create that kind of force from your level of focus, from your level of absorption, that the reflection is strength, the reflection is motivation. The reflection from within yourself is that connection with this universe in such a way that it utilizes you as a tool. It's interesting, this universe puts tools out there, but very many little people, very many little people give themselves that ability to utilize that within themselves, to get to that place of grind, to reflect outwards from within who they are. When we get to that place where the reflection shines outwards, when that strength comes from within that reflection of your level of focus, when you get to that level of focus where it doesn't matter, it is what I got and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. It's me versus me. It's not me versus you or this universe. It's me versus me, and these are the tools that I got, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to that level of focus. I'm going to bring this train with me. I'm going to bring you on this train, because you know what? This universe is such a great place that I'm going to utilize the tool of focus within myself to absorb that level of focus into me, that the reflection outwards from my level of focus is going to show through as a reflection of my grind. Recognize that you got that within yourself to get to that place, to that level of focus, to get to that place where this internal reflections outwards, where the absorption comes in and the reflection bleeds out. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm so focused. I'm so into this thing. I'm so into this place where this reflection shines outwards. I want to motivate you to find that place within yourself. I want to motivate you to get to that place where that reflection comes from your level of focus, where that reflection comes from your level of connection with yourself. When you get down to that place inside of yourself where you get past the people who are putting the nose, sticking their fingers out saying that you can't do this or that, when you get to that place where that reflection shines from within yourself, when you get to that place of focus, when you get to that place within you, and you know that you are on your grind, that's when this universe will start to utilize you as a tool. And you all have that within yourself. If you get yourself to that place of focus, if you can get yourself to that place of reflection, where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are, when you identify with that within who you are and that reflection shines outwards from within yourself, that's when you know that you are on your grind. And when you go into that internal absorption and you get to that level of focus where you utilize other tools within your tool bag, when you utilize that level of focus, when you start to get into that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards, and you get into the subjects of yourself, where you start to put yourself into the classroom of you, when you get into that place where you utilize your breath and that connection to that level of focus, and that internal breath gets to become a place of focus. When you connect yourself with that level of focus to that place where you heat up this universe and it utilizes that connection in such a way inside of yourself that you know that you're on your grind. When you start to get down with yourself, you start to grind inside of yourself, you get to that place where those energy fields within yourself is a place of grind. When you identify with that connection, with that level of absorption, and you get into that absorption within yourself, you start to get into that place inside of yourself where you start to become that student inside of your classroom. When you get down to that level of grind, when you get to that place inside of yourself where the reflection inside of yourself starts to create a light, and you start to utilize the tool of yourself, of your level of focus, to get to your place of knowledge. When you get to that place of knowledge and you reflect outwards from that knowledge within yourself, when you go into that tunnel of yourself and it's you versus you, and you got your strength from your level of focus, when your focus is so focused that the reflection utilizes it as a tool, when you utilize that absorption in such a way that that tool heats up to the point where you can extract the knowledge inside of yourself to the place of that reflection inside of you, when you hear the reflection outwards and you see other people call you a meditation, the knowledge inside of yourself is all there for you. Knowledge is all there for you to be able to have that. If you can recognize that the focus, that internal absorption, creates the reflection. When you get to that place inside of yourself where you create that type of knowledge, when you get to that place inside of yourself where you reflect outwards, this is when people will call you a light. This is when people will call you meditation. When you get into that connection with yourself where you start to get to know yourself from your tool, from your level of focus, when you get to that place inside of yourself where that reflection shines outwards from within who you are, when you get to that place where you start to get down to the energy fields inside of yourself, you start to voice yourself, you start to get to the point where the knowledge side of yourself shows outwards, where other people start to see the knowledge side of who you are. When that reflects outwards from within who you are, and that reflection shines within this universe, and this universe utilizes you as a tool, when you get that place of focus to the point where you start to get to that level of extraction where you put yourself as a student sitting in the classroom to be able to study from this universe in such a way that you can connect this thing as the classroom, and that you can actually start to get to that place inside of yourself where you can become the teacher inside your classroom, and you can have the whole experience. When you have the experience of the internal breath giving you the ability to get to that level of focus, and you have this classroom, and you have that external breath, and you have the ability to be in that classroom, recognize that classroom as a place of reflection. That's what it is. Other people start to see you get into that place. They start to see you when you start to study yourself, when you start to get to actually know who you are inside, when you get to that place where you gain that knowledge from within yourself, and they see you on your grind. That's when they start to call you meditation. That's when they start to call you. Let them be the ones that call you these things. Let them be the ones that call you knowledge. Let them be the ones that call you a light. Let this light inside of yourself shine so bright that the knowledge inside of yourself is what you're after. Give yourself the ability to get to the place of focus where you can gain the knowledge inside of yourself so you can become that extraction. This universe can utilize every challenge that you have to use your breath to heat up the knowledge inside of yourself, to purities out of you so that you can actually become something, a reflection of knowledge. Allow yourself to get to that internal grind, to that absorption, to get to that place inside of yourself where it reflects outwards. Feast on that knowledge inside of yourself. Get to that place inside of yourself where you become that reflection, where you get to that place inside of yourself, that light inside of yourself shines, and that's within you all. If you have the ability to know, if you have the ability to have knowledge, if you have the ability to have all that stuff, you have that ability inside of yourself to actually get with you and start to get those absorptions going on, and let those reflections shine. Let that reflection inside of yourself shine outwards. Let that reflection become a reflection. Get to that place of knowledge and focus where you can connect the two, where you put yourself as a student inside the classroom, and you are inside the classroom, and you are there. You are in that place inside of you in such a way that you are absorbing, that you are actually gaining, you're actually becoming stronger, you are actually growing on a daily basis. Let yourself be able to grow on a daily basis, to gain, to learn from the challenges and the things that you go through, so that you can bypass them and extract the knowledge from them, so that the reflection on the outside comes from within you, that others would identify you as a reflection, where you elevate yourself to that place where the reflection inside of yourself shines through, where other people would call you self-love, would call you knowledge, would call you meditation. Get to that absorption. Get to that absorption place inside of yourself where you reflect outwards. Let other people see you as beautiful from your knowledge inside of yourself. Let other people see you as strong from your reflection inside of yourself, from your level of focus. Let other people see that you overcome challenges, that the challenges that you face off against have no place for emotion. They have no place to stop you from growing, from elevating yourself. That when you elevate yourself, that is the reflection where other people see from your level of knowledge. When you see that type of light inside of yourself, and that reflects outwards, when you put yourself on that tunnel of you versus you, when you get to that place of focus and the knowledge inside of yourself, when you get to that place to gain that knowledge, to extract that knowledge from within yourself, where the light shines from within you, where other people call you meditation, where other people call you that form of reflection, let them be the ones who see those kind of ripples in this universe. Let them be the ones that recognize that your breath is that connection with you, with that internal absorption, that reflection shines outwards from within yourself. When you get to that place where that reflection is within you, when you get to that place where that reflection shines outwards from your level of strength, where it bleeds out, where it literally radiates out from within who you are, when you get to that level of self-study, when you get to that place inside of yourself, that is when you create a universal meditation. Meditation is not just for him or her. This is for everybody. This is for everybody to get to the place inside of themselves. And there are many tools to utilize. And that connection is how I express myself through meditation. That is my connection to utilize to this universe in such a way that I can utilize meditation in that way. And I want to let you know that you can as well too. But you got to see past all the other things that are stopping you from getting to that place of knowledge within yourself. You have to get down with yourself where you can actually connect your breath to your body. To get to that place is a place of extraction. To get to that place is a level of reflection. When you get that level of reflection shining outwards from within yourself, that is when other people will call you meditation. Let them be the ones who identify with that reflection from their level of focus, to identify with their knowledge inside of themselves, to create that level of reflection inside of themselves. That way it shines outwards with your inner light, giving you that ability to be coming from within you. You all have that within yourselves. You all have that ability. It's within you to get to that place. It's within you to get to that level of reflection. It's within you to gain that level of reflection and absorption, that you grow, that the growth within yourself shines outwards from within who you are. The growth within yourself becomes a reflection. When that growth becomes a reflection from within who you are, that's when this universe will understand that you have knowledge. This universe will utilize the knowledge inside of yourself as a reflection out.